crime, and even terrorism. Interpol's stolen motor vehicle database, used by all 196 member countries, was key to identifying the vehicles in real time. Last year alone, the database helped detect over 270,000 stolen vehicles worldwide. The Safe Wheels operation was supported by Interpol's Project Drive-Out, an initiative co-founded by the Government of Canada to fight vehicle theft and illegal auto parts trade. Interpol deployed a team of 9 experts, including a Canadian specialist, to support law enforcement officers on the ground. On average, 46 checkpoints were set up daily across participating countries, tightening the net on vehicle traffickers. Officials say the operation sends a strong message that cross-border crime will be met with coordinated international policing.
With the commemoration of Labor Day on May 1st, the Nigeria Labour Congress has called for urgent enforcement of the 70,000 naira minimum wage across the country. The union cites worsening economic conditions and a growing disregard for workers' welfare by some state government and private employers.
Speaking at the Workers' Day event in Abuja, President of the Nigeria Labour Congress, Joe Ajaero, lamented the deteriorating living standards of Nigerian workers, attributing it to what he described as anti-worker policies and economic hardship. He criticized state governments and private employers who have failed to implement the wage law, calling it a serious violation of labor rights. Ajaero urged labor unions to remain vigilant, not just to demand compliance, but also to push for a comprehensive wage review that aligns with the soaring cost of living. Ajaero is calling for the full implementation of the 70,000 naira national minimum wage for all Nigerian workers. The NLC's renewed advocacy comes as inflation continues to erode purchasing power, leaving many workers struggling to make ends meet. The NLC says it will continue to engage all stakeholders until every Nigerian worker earns a living wage reflective of today's economic realities.
So the Democratic Republic of Congo and Rwanda have reached a preliminary agreement aimed at ending hostilities in East Congo following high-level peace talks held in Doha, Qatar. The deal addresses territorial disputes, armed group, and mineral trade.
Delegations from both Kinshasa and Kigali have been working to finalize a draft peace deal expected to be submitted on Friday. The draft is built upon a declaration of principles signed in Washington last week. On Wednesday, the U.S. President's Special Envoy for Africa, Massad Boulos, joined representatives from Congo, Rwanda, Togo, and France in the Qatari capital to support the negotiations. The draft agreement is expected to address several key issues, including respect for territorial sovereignty, combating armed groups, regulating the mineral trade, protecting refugees, and defining the role of international forces, especially the UN peacekeeping mission, MONUSCO. Earlier this year, Rwanda-backed M23 rebels seized 2 provincial capitals in eastern Congo, promoting the Congolese government to reconsider its stance on dialogue with the rebel group. The progress in Doha marks a significant step towards de-escalating tensions in the Great Lakes region and paves the way for broader peace efforts. Final terms are expected to be made public in the coming days.
It is with deep sorrow that the Association of African Universities, AAU, announces the sudden passing of Madame Nodimo Dlamini, Director of ICT and Knowledge Management at the AAU. Madame Nodimo Dlamini passed away in the early hours of Friday, 25th April 2025, following complications from a brief surgical proceedings. She was known for her unwavering commitment to advancing higher education in Africa, her professionalism, her warmth, and inspiring spirit. Her contributions left a lasting mark on colleagues and stakeholders across the continent. The Secretary General, the AAU management, and the entire AAU community extends their deepest condolence to their family, colleagues, and all who had the privilege to work with her. Madame Nodimo Dlamini's legacy of excellence and service will not be forgotten. Memorial arrangements will be announced in due course, and may her gentle soul rest in peace.
With our hearts weighed down by immeasurable pain and sorrow, with tears filled in our eyes and memories of her broad smile and calm presence, the Association of African Universities mourns the sudden and painful loss of one of our brightest minds, Ms. Nodimo Dlamini, our Director of ICT, Communications and Knowledge Management. Born in Matobo, Zimbabwe in 1966, Ms. Dlamini answered the call to serve Africa's higher education with unwavering dedication. Her career journey led her to the Association of African Universities, Africa's apex continental higher education body. At the AAU, Nodimo poured her passion, skills, dedication, and commitment into building a stronger, more connected, and more resilient African higher education. During her nearly decade-long tenure as a management team member, Nodimo demonstrated exceptional leadership and strategic vision. Her contributions to the organization were nothing short of transformative. She catalyzed the creation of communities of practice, forged pivotal partnerships, and spearheaded innovative technology platforms that enhance communication and collaboration among stakeholders. Her work in knowledge management and open science initiatives has left a lasting legacy that will continue to shape the future of higher education in Africa. Ms. Dlamini's impact extended far beyond her professional achievement. Her ability to connect with people on a personal level made her a cherished member of the AAU family. Her door was never closed. Her smile and soft voice always reassuring and comforting, and her counsel always wise. She nurtured young talent, believing fiercely in their potential. She often remarked, "Working with the young ones makes you younger and updated." Nodimo's brilliance was matched only by her humility. She achieved so much while carrying herself with grace and gentleness. She faced challenges with a steady heart and turned obstacles into opportunities. Today, we grieve not just for the leader we have lost, but for the friend who laughed with us, the sister who stood with us, and the dreamer who believed in us and the potential to leverage higher education in addressing the continent's most pressing challenges. Her absence echoes painfully in our halls and our hearts. As we mourn our loss, we hold on to the truth that her spirit lives on. It lives in the systems she built, in the minds she shaped, the talents she nurtured, and in the dreams she dared to dream for Africa's higher education. In honor of her life, the AAU recommits itself to the values she cherished: unity, innovation, impact, and above all, excellence. Rest well, dearest Nodimo. Your light will never fade. Your dreams will live on, and you remain forever in our hearts.
Welcome back from that commercial break, and you are still live on the Hello Africa Morning Show, coming to you live from the headquarters of the Association of African Universities in East Legon, Accra. And today I'm joined by my colleague,
Jemima Deladem Duche.
My name is Philemon Edwards, and we are doing this today together. And on that sad note of the last news on the top African stories, we just want to take a brief moment to celebrate the life of Madame Nodumor Dlamini. And we say, may her gentle soul rest in perfect peace. Jemima, tell me something. I know you are emotional, but briefly, what is your experience? Or just share some experience with us about Madame Nodumor.
Okay, so she was a mother, I would say. She was a mother, and I remember, I mean, not too long, I think the Wednesday to his demise on Friday, I saw her at the reception where she walked in, and of course, Madame Nodumor and herself would be like, "Hi, Jemima, how are you?" Hugged me, gave me a peg. And she just reminded me of an email that she even sent me to work on something for her.
Right.
And she even told me to come to her office for a discussion, which I haven't even gone. And, you know, come to think of it, it's just a lot to take in. But I know a lot of us have worked with her, and our experience so far is good. She is a mother, as I said. She's someone who motivates you. She wouldn't interfere in your works. She would want you to bring out your A game. And then, I mean, if you want to talk about it, if you want to discuss it, her door is always open to you. You can go there. You can have a discussion. If you don't understand something, she's willing to, you know, explain and then make it easy for you to work. Yeah. And that is one thing I know or I like about her. She's not that kind of boss that, you know, in some institutions you see your boss coming and then you are running away. And then you want to be in a very good position, seated with all the seriousness and all that. I mean, we're all serious with our works, but, you know, she still allows you and has that social relationship with all of us. And I know we are really, really going to miss her.
Yeah.
And
well, I can feel your sentiments as you were speaking. We are really going to miss her. I haven't known her for too long, but I can tell you for sure, for the little time that I have known her, I've not heard one single bad thing about her.
Exactly.
My interactions with her on a few occasions, very soft-spoken, very articulate. You can tell she knows what she's about.
Exactly.
And the thing that I love so much about her is that there's nothing that you mention that she has no knowledge about.
You know?
That's the interesting thing. So you have a discussion with her, you have conversations where you talk about your personal issues, and you will be surprised the angle from which she would come into the conversation and point you into a certain direction. I mean, just like you, I was supposed to have some sort of a meeting with her because I told her about plans to do a PhD and all of that. And she said, well, I should come and let's have a conversation. Unfortunately, I wonder how many other people have conversations and waiting for her, and it didn't happen. But we trust that God will take care of us. We say to her family and to the entire AAU, let's stay strong, even in her absence. I know that she would want to do to get our
well,
very well in our jobs, and her demise shouldn't be. Even though we are mourning, we'll just have to find strength in these times to make sure that we are doing what we have to do, and our jobs will continue on to go on. And at this point, we just want to take a minute to respect her memory with a minute of silence. Wherever you are, just join us do this. Well, welcome back, and you're still live on the Hello Africa Morning Show. This morning, there are a number of things to be discussed, a lot of interesting things. Let me just run you through quickly what we are going to be doing this morning so you have an idea of what our show looks like today. I'm sure if you are an MTN subscriber, you probably have had concerns over the last few days regarding your Momo transactions or anything of that nature. Jemima, have you had any concerns?
Of course,
Well,
I have.
Good. So we are going to be talking about that. We have a cybersecurity expert in the house. We'll have a discussion on that, and we'll dive into the matters and eventually probably see how we can, safeguard ourselves from some of these problems regarding Momo fraud and any other cybersecurity attack. We'll also be doing something in relation to eLearn Africa, and there's a brief interview on that. Jemima will help us do that interview as well. So stay tuned. And then I don't know if you know about Chempe Prekese Festival. We'll be delving into that as well. And then when we get to sports, unfortunately, my beloved Liverpool lost to Chelsea yesterday. I'm not sad because Liverpool has already won the league, but I felt Liverpool should have just probably, bow out of the season in a glorious way than to allow Chelsea to win 3-1. But on the other hand, the last time Liverpool won the league, Chelsea did us a favor. Without kicking the ball, they made us win the league in 2019. So I have a mixed feeling there. But stay tuned. When we get back from this break, we would get into the stories and dig into them. Stay tuned. We'll be right back.
Explore a whole new world of exciting visuals with AAU TV. Get ready for a mix of interesting talk shows, interviews, discovery documentaries, and news on AAU TV. It's not just about watching TV, it's about experiencing something special. AAU TV reaches over 25 countries in Africa, bringing you a blend of knowledge and fun. Learn about different cultures as you enjoy the shows. If you have events or want to showcase your business, we've got you covered. Watch AAU TV free-to-air channel on satellite. Connect with us on Facebook, Instagram, and X, formerly known as Twitter, at AAU TV. Reach out on call or WhatsApp us at +233 26 629 6601 or +233 20 399 5210. AAU TV, the voice of higher education in Africa.
Welcome back, and we'll go right into our discussions and our news review. And in our first story, at the University of Media, Arts and Communication, Institute of Journalism, serious questions are being raised about the financial management of the Student Representative Council. According to a financial statement released by the current SRC administration, only 7,500 cedis remain in the student accounts, despite projected SRC dues collection exceeding 240,000 cedis for the semester. The Financial Secretary, Emmanuel Nyako Kwashi, revealed troubling discrepancies between dues receipts issued to students and what is reflected in the SRC bank accounts. A full-scale investigation is now underway with support from the Dean of Students' Office and the bank. Meanwhile, students have yet to receive promised souvenirs. Clubs and halls are awaiting disbursements, and the fate of a proposed Students' Aid Fund remains uncertain. This morning, we are asking, where is the money in PUC's Kanewing? And what accountability measures are in place to prevent this from happening again?
According to the bank records, a few number of students have paid their SRC dues. However, multiple SRC dues receipts collected from students are not reflected in the bank statement. This discrepancy raises concern regarding the integrity and accuracy of the financial records provided. We are currently investigating the issue thoroughly, and appropriate actions will be taken once findings are confirmed. Ensuring transparency and accountability. Ensuring transparency and accountability remains a top priority of this administration. The bank has been informed about their discrepancies and they are willing to cooperate to ensure that the issues are resolved. It's worth noting that as it stands, the amount in the SRC account is 7,505 cedis, 52 pesos.
And that was the SRC Financial Secretary, Emmanuel Nyako Kwashi, who gave that press briefing regarding the finances of the SRC. We were supposed to be engaging them further on this story, but unfortunately, as a directive from the Dean of Students, the matter is being handled internally. But we'll be following that story and we'll bring you up to speed as to whatever the situation is. But quickly, Jemima, don't you think this is strange that there's receipts, okay, but or there are receipts, but unfortunately
the money is nowhere to be found.
The money is nowhere to be found. Like I find it very interesting. I mean, investigations are underway, so it's too early to say who is responsible for this. But I think this is kind of weird. What do you think?
You know, funny enough, well, this is not the first time I'm hearing of such incident when it comes to the SRC of the SRC executives and I mean in the universities.
Yeah.
But I mean mostly we ask where is the money because I mean we can't just assume that someone took the money and then just pocket it for their personal use.
Yeah.
So at this point I think there is really not much to say. We will just wait for follow up with the story and see what comes out from that. Yeah.
So like we've promised, we'll be following up on that story and then we'll bring you up to speed with whatever the results are. Now, let's go straight into our next story, which I believe you'll be interested in. Okay, now in April this year, last month, MTN Group reported a cybersecurity breach involving unauthorized access to customer data in some countries. The company assured that core systems, including financial platforms and Momo, remain secure. The breach was attributed to an unknown third party, and there is no current evidence suggesting that customer accounts of Momo wallets have been directly affected. In response, MTN activated its cybersecurity protocols, alerted law enforcement, including South Africa's Hawks and other country-specific authorities, and began notifying affected customers per legal requirements. Now, as part of its damage control, MTN is advising customers to enhance personal cybersecurity practices such as using strong passwords, enabling multi-factor authentication, and remaining cautious of phishing attempts. The company has reiterated its commitment to transparency and data privacy. I know that you are interested in this. I'll share a brief experience with you. A few times, I am just in my corner somewhere. I have not activated any cash outs per the protocols of withdrawing money from your phone. Then I suddenly get an alert asking me to input my PIN to withdraw cash. Yet I'm home, or I'm at church, or I'm elsewhere doing any other thing, not at a Momo vendor, but I get such an alert. And I am concerned, and I'm sure you are concerned too. Stay tuned. When we come back, we have a guest in the house and we'll go right into these issues. We'll be right back.
This is Hello Africa on AAU TV. This is Hello Africa on AAU TV.
Explore a whole new world of exciting visuals with AAU TV. Get ready for a mix of interesting talk shows, interviews, discovery documentaries, and news on AAU TV. It's not just about watching TV, it's about experiencing something special. AAU TV reaches over 25 countries in Africa, bringing you a blend of knowledge and fun. Learn about different cultures as you enjoy the shows. If you have events or want to showcase your business, we've got you covered. Watch AAU TV free-to-air channel on satellite. Connect with us on Facebook, Instagram, and X, formerly known as Twitter, at AAU TV. Reach out on call or WhatsApp us at +233 26 629 6601 or +233 20 399 5210. AAU TV, the voice of higher education in Africa.
Are you a university, college, high school, private organization, NGO, individual professor, instructor or facilitator seeking to take advantage of the numerous benefits of online education? Look no further. The AAU eLearn Africa LMS is a great opportunity to begin your journey to online course development and creation for teaching, learning and training purposes. AAU eLearn Africa LMS, which is a partnership between the Association of African Universities and eLearn Africa, has made available ease to use online learning tools to all stakeholders within the educational ecosystem of the African continent. This is to enhance teaching and learning in the bid to expand online learning opportunities for students in Africa. The online platform is open and available for free to all stakeholders and facilitates virtual access to classes without needing the other tools such as Zoom, Microsoft Teams, among others. For more information, visit www.elearnafricalms.com or contact us via aaulms@aau.org or estherm@elearnafrica.com. Follow us on LinkedIn, Twitter, and Facebook at AAU eLearn Africa LMS.
Hello, Africa. Keep watching AAU TV.
Welcome back from that commercial break. And before we went on the break, I was telling you about cybersecurity attacks, Momo alerts, Momo confusions here and there. But we are just about to clear some of these issues. I have with me in the house our guest, Mr. Mauku Kujo Bata. He is a cybersecurity professional and he's the co-founder of Makatob IT Securities. You're welcome, sir.
Thank you, Faye.
Right, you are welcome again to this segment. This is the Hello Africa Morning Show. And like we were talking about behind the scenes, cybersecurity attacks. People are concerned. People are worried, especially when it comes to financial transactions. Okay, so from your experience, how vulnerable do you think the telecom sector is when it comes to cyber attacks like the one MTN reported?
Thank you very much, Faye. First of all, I would like to say good morning to our cherished viewers and also extend my heartfelt condolence to the affected 5,700 customers of MTN. Yeah. I trust the process that is going on now. Investigations are going on. So I believe things will be okay. So all affected customers should just relax. Well, yeah, the authorities are working.
That is refreshing to hear.
And you'll get a very good news at the end.
Great. All right. So how vulnerable is the sector? Tell me. How vulnerable is it?
So when it comes to the telecom industry, they deal with vast amount of personal information, and financial data, and also location. Okay. So just as banks have a lot of customers, social media platforms and staff. Okay. They have personal information that they in a vast amount, sometimes in millions.
Okay.
So this is a target for attackers.
Okay.
Because when they get to these platforms, they'll be able to get a lot of information about people.
Okay.
And very critical systems.
Okay.
On these platforms.
Okay.
And also, telecom, whenever they digitize services, they also expand their attack surfaces to cyber threats.
Okay.
So they are very, very vulnerable when it comes to cyber attacks.
Wow. That's a bit alarming to hear that they are very vulnerable.
Very vulnerable.
But would you say that even in terms of the fact that they are very vulnerable, are subscribers, should subscribers have the confidence that even though the risk is high, we are safe to be using all of these networks and service providers?
Yes, of course.
Okay.
Because they are to protect our information.
Okay. But generally in Ghana, for example, people have issues with some of these things, okay, when it comes to data protection. For example, there are times when you just receive text messages from some service providers that you have not subscribed to. They come in the form of ads, some come in the form of job advertisements. What do you think is the problem with that issue? Because, for example, if I haven't subscribed to anybody who's supposed to be giving me a job ad, okay, or any kind of information, even sometimes you get things regarding lotto numbers, NLA, and all of these things. But I do not stick lotto. I'm not a subscriber to these things. I mean, how concerned should I be?
Oh, it's a concern because normally attackers don't really get information from these kind of systems.
Okay.
They just get telephone numbers.
Okay.
Because now MTN serving about over 29 millions of Ghanaians.
Okay. Okay.
So there are a whole bunch of numbers of telephone contacts.
Okay.
So these attackers just do take these numbers at random and send these kind of phishing mails to these numbers.
Okay.
And these victims tend to fall for all this stuff.
Okay.
So those things are crafted by these attackers.
Okay.
And just send them to their victims or targets.
Okay. So given this explanation, is there a way that can be stopped? Because from what I understood now, it means that anybody can sit anywhere and randomly come up with a phone number knowing that 024 is the code for MTN or 054 is 053, whatever it is, and then they'll generate the last 7 numbers. Is it possible that even if I don't know your number, I can randomly generate a number, which probably can be your number, and then send a message or whatever, and then it will work?
Of course.
Wow.
Yes, so in the security chain, human beings are the weakest.
Okay.
Human beings are the weakest.
Okay.
So that is why we need education as users of these systems. Because MTN can protect you by putting in some measures that your account is not taken over or compromised.
Okay.
But humans, or we the customers, we also have our parts to play, that we don't reveal our sensitive information.
Okay.
For instance, somebody calls you, tells you that I'm calling from MTN.
Yeah.
Okay. For instance, this bridge, there are a whole lot of people that are going to be defrauded because the news is public. Most of the people are aware about it.
Yeah.
And attackers too are going to leverage that.
Yeah.
To defraud people.
Okay.
That there is a breach ongoing. So do this to protect your system.
Unfortunately, the attackers are also aware of the information.
Of course. It's in the public domain, so everybody has access to it.
Yeah.
So when this happens, they will leverage what is happening right now to defraud a lot of people.
Okay.
Because they will come telling you that, oh, we want to help you secure your system.
Right.
So that your Momo is not affected.
Okay.
But in this breach, MTN has given the assurance that those critical systems are not affected. Yes. So we have to be very careful as we are dealing with this.
Okay. I'm glad you mentioned that humans are the weakest in the chain of the security system. Are there any other entry points for hackers to breach the telecom infrastructure?
Yes.
Aside humans, what are some of them?
Yeah. So we have devices, outdated devices, and software systems that they use.
Okay.
When they can be vulnerable when they are not updated.
Okay.
And also they can be vulnerable when they are outdated. Some of the devices are old that they needed to be replaced with new ones.
Okay.
There was an incident in Bangladesh in 2016.
Okay.
That the reserve of Central Bank of Bangladesh was attacked. It was because of all these things. Number one, an employee that was vulnerable to the attack.
Okay.
Secondly, they were using cheap devices.
Okay.
That allowed the entry of these attackers into their financial system.
Wow. This is quite eye-opening. It just is beginning to take my mind on a spin.
Yes, and even sometimes there are insider threats.
Wow.
Yes.
So again, then that comes with the human.
So attackers do go get jobs in these
so they will go like normal job seekers.
Yeah.
Yet they are working for the outside.
Yes.
This is
so
very
they'll
dangerous.
be in the system.
Yes.
And be sending information.
Yeah. So while you are doing upgrades and trying to protect the system, somebody
leaving backdoors in
the
system.
This is really dangerous.
Yeah.
It is dangerous.
Very dangerous.
So in such a situation, I mean, I am guessing that then it means that you may need proper system engineers to be checking all of these backdoors consistently, because
it should be continuous.
Yeah, it's a continuous process, because you can't have somebody coming in posing like a regular job seeker, unassuming. You give the person a job, you are doing everything to protect the system and the infrastructure, and then this person is leaving the back door opened. I mean, it's quite concerning for me, but I just hope that the people that get into the system do understand the damage that this the telecom space can suffer if these things continue, because it's not going to be safe for anybody. Yeah. Anyway, so let's go on further. Now, I have a major concern. Okay, we do understand that the telcos are giving us assurances when it comes to, especially financial transactions, and they're trying to tell us that our systems are safe and all of those things. But when it comes to a lot of cyber criminal activities, where you see a lot of activity is in the financial sector. Why is it the case? Even though those systems are, let me say, are of high grade and they are strongly protected, why are people still digging into that side?
Yeah, so the greatest motivation for every hacker is normally kept around the finance.
Okay.
Yes.
Okay.
So most of these attackers, they are after money. So wherever there is money, that is where they go to.
Okay.
So they do know that this critical system or core system are not left unsecure. So we have what we call peripheral systems.
Yeah.
They are the non-critical system that maybe when it comes to security, they are not of high standard as the core system.
Okay.
But we have information that are actually saved in there that these attackers can use to, tailor social engineering attacks or even sell these credentials on the dark web to make some money.
Okay.
So they do know that these systems are protected, very much secure, but they go into those systems to fetch those little bit of information that they could sell for money or which can let them gather more information and tailor phishing attacks on these customers.
Okay. So moving on from there, let's get a bit into the MTN situation. Okay, MTN responded by activating some protocols. They did inform law enforcement, and then they have notified the affected users. Do you think this is enough in terms of their strategy to combat this cyber security attacks?
Yeah, okay. So first of all, to show leadership in accountability, that is what you have to do.
Okay.
There has
Just
been
like
a
a standard
breach.
procedure.
Yeah, there has been a breach, and customers are affected.
Okay.
So they needed to let the general public know that this is what is happening. This will, inform them that, or those that are not even affected should be alert of what is happening. And also, according to MTN, they are conducting forensic investigations. Yeah, so they need to come out and be very transparent to the public with their findings.
Okay.
So when I try to look into this very well, I've seen that MTN is serving about 29 million Ghanaians.
Yeah.
And only a fraction of it is affected. So could it be that is negligence from these customers?
Okay.
Or is something that is not well with MTN?
Yeah.
So they needed to come out if they are at fault or is a fault from these customers, then we know what to do. So they have to be very transparent and
Okay. So you just mentioned that there's a chance that the subscribers could be the ones at fault in some of these issues. So how can customers better protect themselves from some of these consequences, like the breaches, especially when it comes to mobile money transactions?
All right. So first of all, a majority of these users, they use their date of birth for their Momo PIN.
Okay.
So when I know your date of birth,
that's easy
your
to
Momo
guess.
PIN is exposed.
Yeah.
So they should use strong pins.
Yeah.
And also update their Momo applications and their banking platform, because now because of the interoperability, we have our Momo linked to our bank account.
Yeah,
so
the Ghana card and all of that.
If your bank account is your banking app is compromised, people get to
that's quite a chain.
Yes.
Yeah.
So they always have to make sure that these applications are updated, they are up to date, and their devices, they also need to regularly update their devices.
Okay. So what about MTN? What can they do to reassure customers and also prevent like a long-term reputational damage? Because MTN is one of the biggest brands, not only in Ghana, but in Africa. Okay, so we have just spoken about the subscribers. What can MTN do?
All right, so MTN can continuously keep training the employees.
Okay.
In cybersecurity.
Okay.
Yes. Let me assume that it's not everybody working in MTN that is cybersecurity conscious.
Sure.
Yes.
Sure.
And even such people, they are very vulnerable. Everybody is vulnerable. So they need a basic training in cybersecurity, how to identify phishing mails and those kind of social engineering tricks that attackers would maybe carry out on them. So they needed to do that. And also these the customers. You know, I used to say that when Corona came, the pandemic came, the way education was carried out, let everybody, even the non-educated, know what is going on. If these telcos can raise their education to that level, I think it will help the general public and everyone, both the educated and
Yeah.
the non-educated.
I think I can agree with you on intentional education, because in my personal experience, sometimes you have a problem, okay, and you want to dial 100 and talk to somebody in the call center for MTN. The process it takes you to get to speak to somebody, even that process alone, is so long.
Yeah.
Meanwhile, what you are dealing with is an urgent situation.
Yeah.
So, for example, imagine that I have a Momo challenge, and I am hoping that I can get through to speak to somebody and reverse the transaction. Yet, the system is putting me through a series of automated responses, and I have to go through all of that before eventually I get to speak to somebody in the call center, who then forwards my complaint to the appropriate quarters. And in some cases, if you are not careful, what you are told is your case or your issue will be resolved in a certain number of working days. I mean, what do you think about that? Like, I'm thinking about how some of these structures can be streamlined so that when you have an issue or a challenge, you can have easy, quick resolutions compared to this long chain of reactions before to the main action that you are looking for. What do you think about that?
Well, this is a challenge indeed. And to me as an individual, it does happen to me all the time.
Okay.
Sometimes you need them very urgent.
Yeah.
And you don't get to speak to anybody.
Exactly.
Your call will be in waiting till
That's another thing.
forever.
Yes.
I think they need to put up with the works over there. Yes. In our culture over here, in our cultural settings, we don't take care of certain things.
Yeah.
Some will be there. Some of the employees will be there. They'll see this call, but they tend to be doing different things. They could be chatting. They could be on their phone thinking this is not important to them. But to the victim, it's very important to them. Something happened to a friend that I know. Money has been taken from mobile money was compromised.
Okay.
And mostly when they do that, they transfer the money to Voda.
Okay.
Okay, the number.
Okay.
So when we called MTN, MTN said they needed to investigate.
Wow.
The case. Because it's cross-border. It's crossing from another network to another network.
Yeah.
So, and we went to Voda. And Voda also said they needed some kind of report from MTN. Before they could deal with the issue.
Wow.
And at that moment, the person has even withdrawn the money.
Exactly. Because by the time you're done looking for whatever you're looking for from MTN back to Vodafone or Telus or whatever it is, I mean, because it takes just a few minutes to withdraw money from the mobile money account.
Yeah.
So look at the chain of communication and all of these lines you must go through. By the time you're done and your case is going to be resolved, the person who wants to take the money has already taken it away.
So adding to that, I think they need to work 24/7.
Yeah.
Because attacks don't have timelines.
But
they happen at all times.
But I'm interested in how quickly, if maybe I just made a wrong transaction to you, okay, and I want to reverse it. Do you think it's a possible thing to do something of that nature, let's say within 5 minutes or 10 minutes max, within which I have made like a transaction?
I think to help solve that, transactions should be kept for some few minutes
before somebody can access it.
So at that time, maybe you would be able to verify.
Yeah.
To know if maybe it's a wrongful transaction.
Yeah.
Or it's yes. So I think by doing that, maybe by the time you realize that this is a wrong transaction, you'll be able to reverse it from the pool which is standing by back before it gets to the intended destination.
Okay. So we are just being practical about some of these things right now. But let's go further into the cybersecurity proper. So are there any frameworks or tools telcos can adopt to reduce this kind of risk in the future beyond the practical things we have? Are there any frameworks or tools?
Yes. So we have international or global frameworks.
Okay.
One is from NIST.
Okay.
NIST is a U.S. Government agency that provide guidelines on cybersecurity best practices.
Okay.
It's international. They can use it, and it's regularly updated. It's a guideline that when institutions, companies, and telcos like MTN use it, they give you a guideline on how to deal with cybersecurity incidents.
Okay. Okay.
And also the ISO 27001
right.
also defines that those guidelines for us to follow. And
okay. That's fine. At least we do know that there are some frameworks that can help in this things. So let's come back locally and try to deal with some agencies like the National Communication Authority, the NCA, and then the Data Protection Commission. What role do they have to play in these situations?
All right. So currently, the Ministry of Communication is in collaboration with Cybersecurity Authority, NCA, and Data Protection Commission to investigate this breach.
Okay.
So I think they have to do this independently.
Yeah.
So that if MTN is at fault, they have to pay for the price.
Sure.
Maybe for negligence, if it's the fault of the customers, then they have to devise a better way of educating the public. So as I said earlier on, they are working on it. And even currently, there are forensic experts in MTN carrying out this investigation to really see what actually is the cause of this breach and where it started from.
Okay. All right. So I want to assume that the NCA and the Data Protection Commission are doing their jobs. We can only hope and pray that the things we're just discussing, I mean, the practicality of it will be made, how do we call it, will be fast-tracked, because, I mean, when we're talking about practical issues, you saw the chain of communication.
Yes.
When somebody has to reverse a transaction or this kind of thing, it takes too long. By the time you are done trying to get to talk to somebody who can help, the harm has already been caused. I just hope that when these things are done, the investigations especially, everybody that is a stakeholder in this situation will make sure that we are safe in terms of our dealings when it comes to cyber security and any other thing related to cyber security. But I know for the common people, it is about Momo.
Of course.
So if you are listening or you're watching us, you just heard our guests in the studio talk about how you can protect yourself as well. Don't use your date of birth as your Momo pin. That's a generalized thing. Look at the number of people that send you birthday wishes or birthday messages on your birthday. So if your Momo pin is your birthday, everybody that sends you a birthday message is a suspect when there's a Momo fraud activity on your phone. Anyway, that's just a joke. All right, so my brother, thank you for coming to talk to us. And I hope that the next time, when especially the investigation has been done, we would find a way forward to make everybody secure. Stay tuned. We'll be right back with some lifestyle information. Jemima will take us through that. Stay tuned.
I'm here with the Association of African Universities Television, AUTV. I just want to say that without the media, you won't know what's going on in the world. Even with the media, you sometimes don't know what's going on in the world. So you need to tune in to the reliable sources who are really on the front lines, who can give you the information you need and give you facts, not conjecture, give you real news, not fake news. And this is the place to find it, AUTV.
The voice of higher education in Africa.
Explore a whole new world of exciting visuals with AAUTV. Get ready for a mix of interesting talk shows, interviews, discovery documentaries, and news on AAUTV. It's not just about watching TV, it's about experiencing something special. AAUTV reaches over 25 countries in Africa, bringing you a blend of knowledge and fun. Learn about different cultures as you enjoy the shows. If you have events or want to showcase your business, we've got you covered. Watch AAU TV free-to-air channel on satellite. Connect with us on Facebook, Instagram, and X, formerly known as Twitter, at AAU TV. Reach out on call or WhatsApp us at +233 26 629 6601 or +233 20 399 5210. AAU TV, the voice of higher education in Africa.
Are you a university, college, high school, private organization, NGO, individual professor, instructor or facilitator seeking to take advantage of the numerous benefits of online education? Look no further. The AAU eLearn Africa LMS is a great opportunity to begin your journey to online course development and creation for teaching, learning and training purposes. AAU eLearn Africa LMS, which is a partnership between the Association of African Universities and eLearn Africa, has made available ease to use online learning tools to all stakeholders within the educational ecosystem of the African continent. This is to enhance teaching and learning in the bid to expand online learning opportunities for students in Africa. The online platform is open and available for free to all stakeholders and facilitates virtual access to classes without needing the other tools such as Zoom, Microsoft Teams, among others. For more information, visit www.elearnafricalms.com or contact us via aaulms@aau.org or estherm@elearnafrica.com. Follow us on LinkedIn, Twitter, and Facebook at AAU eLearn Africa LMS.
So today on the lifestyle segment, we spotlight a game-changing innovation that is transforming access to quality education across the African continent, and that is the AAU eLearn Africa Learning Management System, which was launched at the 15th Quadrennial General Conference of African University Leaders in 2021. This platform is a collaboration between the Association of African Universities, AAU, and the eLearn Africa. And today, I'm honored to have with me Mr. Isaac Kofi Kranche, who is the Project Management Assistant eLearn here at the AAU. So today we want to talk about the platform, which people can get access or which people can use the platform, and the impact the platform is making or has made. Mr. Kranche, you are welcome.
Thank
you very much for it.
Okay, so since you are, I know you are the project management assistant for the eLearn. Okay, so let's talk about the whole platform, the eLearn Africa platform generally.
Sure. So the AU eLearn Africa LMS is a partnership between the Association of African Universities and eLearn Africa. And we had our official launch in 2021 during the AU General Conference. And as they say, the rest is history. We've done a lot of activities following the official launch. And here we are now at the US.
Okay, so I know it's a student platform, right? So how can students, or let me say educators or institutions, get access to the AAU eLearn LMS platform?
Sure. So the AU eLearn Africa LMS platform focuses not just on students, but on institutions as well, universities to be precise. So we are looking forward to having universities expand their capacity, improve upon their infrastructure to be able to accommodate the students that we are looking out for. So students can access the contents of the LMS platform online. We have our online MBAs or online offerings on the Canvas platform, where we do the master's degree programs, masters in MBA, MPA, MPH, MPP. We do all those. And then we have the professional development courses too, or short courses too. Those are the certificate courses that people can take on their own. So we bring together the universities and then the students at one place. Yes.
How friendly is your platform? Because, I mean, is it on the web, the mobile, or you can just access it on your laptop? How friendly, how can people easily get access to it?
Yes, our platform is very, very user-friendly as compared to other platforms. And when I speak of friendliness, it reminds me of some of the process we've engaged. For instance, Professor Emmanuel Ngara, and that's how come some of these, so it's like a BBT, Born Before Technology, came in, and you have some of these professors who, quote unquote, do not really know something about technology, but with our platform, we're able to navigate the platform seamlessly, creating their own content, of course, with our assistance and support, and being able to hold online engagements. And from the students' perspective too, we've had quite positive impacts in terms of ease of use and content accessibility registration with our support from there. So that's how friendly our platform is.
Okay, so talking of students, who qualifies to enroll in your programs, your courses, your training programs and all that?
Everyone is welcome to take a course on our LMS platform. As I said, we have online master's programs. So those who are interested in upgrading in terms of professional courses, they are welcome to pick those short certificate courses, social media management, graphic design. They are in there. And those who want to do actual MBA programs, MPA programs are also welcome to register. So anyone at all looking to improve their credibility, their certifications can.
So let's talk about the kind of certificates that you issue. When it comes to our universities or the employers and all that, they look at some certain kind of certificates that should be awarded to students. Are your certificates recognized by these universities, or let me say the employers? What kind of certificates are awarded on this platform?
Sure. Thank you very much for that. One issue with online education is people usually have difficulty accepting online certificates. So what we looked at was to actually make sure that our certificates were accredited and certified. So with the online master's programs, we have universities who are already running set programs on campus on the traditional level, accrediting the online MBA. So once we partner with them with an online MBA that they are already running, we take it online and then we go through their accreditation body to have it accredited together with the online MBA. So it becomes very credible and valuable. And with the short courses too, we partner with the same universities or some professional bodies or institutions that are able to add some form of value to the contents that we offer. So in terms of credibility, yes, our certificates are very credible because of the institutions that we partner with, and they are very much accredited by
Okay,
these
so
institutions.
talking of institutions, I think from the information I have, the platform was launched at the 15th Quadrennial General Conference in 2021. Since 2021 till date, how many universities and, let me say, educators have you had on board?
Good. So since 2021, we've had over 90 people, users of the platform in terms of content development, and we've had over 120 courses developed on the program. That's besides master's degree programs. As it stands now, we have about 3 master's degree programs. We have an online MBA with Njala University. We have a hybrid MBA with Roots Business School in South Africa. Njala is in Sierra Leone. And then we have an MPA with University of Nigeria, Nsukka in Nigeria. So we have quite a number, and there are some others too in the pipeline. Short courses, we've had the privilege of working with Professor Ngara on his Leadership University Transformation course, and Dr. Mukasa, Communication in a Digital Era. All these people have helped us to develop a lot of courses in this past year, besides working with some organizations like MSF, Doctors Without Borders, and the like. So yeah, there are quite a number of courses.
Okay, so how long is this online courses? How long does it take?
It depends.
On the course?
It depends on the duration of the course. And for the master's degrees, the credit hours that the university looks at, and even the requirements of the country, that what we look at. But perhaps I could speak directly for the certificate courses or professional development courses. When we began with, for instance, Dr. Professor Ngara's course, Leadership University Transformation course, it was for 12 weeks. But along the line, we had to make sure that we put everything within a short period or duration, because it's capacity building costs.
So you reduce.
So we looked at how to reduce it and to make it more self-paced. So the interaction with the facilitator becomes minimum.
Okay.
Yes.
Okay. So I'm sure a lot of you've had students who have graduated, or let me say, are done with these courses that you run. So what has been the how do we call it? What has been the feedback so far?
The feedback has been
What are some of the feedback?
There's been positive feedback from our students. We've had a number of students using that platform, and their feedback has been good. We have one Dr. Richard. He was from Burundi, who actually engaged our platform both as a facilitator and as a student. And he even had the courses. He had his students use some of the courses that he created on our platform, and the students shared some feedback for us, which is on our website, and the feedback has been quite positive. And yeah.
Okay, so beyond the LMS contributing, beyond all this, how is LMS contributing to the broader goals of digital transformation?
Sure. So Africa is developing, and in order to contribute to the digital divide, the AU Learn Africa LMS is looking for it to bring in students and institutions together at one place. Our knowledge is spread across the continent, with people unable to have access to that knowledge. So we want to bring such people together, students here and then educators together on one platform where they can share that knowledge, have access to it, and then build upon it. And by so doing, we make sure that we contribute to the increased demand for education in Africa, and also the capacity building demand in Africa.
Okay, so there's a question here from someone who just joined and is asking if the collaboration is only for African universities.
At the moment, we are, let me say, an Afrocentric partnership, but we are open to partnering with external institutions, depending on how we find our alignments. Because at this one we are planning something with Michigan State University.
Okay.
So that tells you that we are open, but the priority is on Africa. So once you have something Africa that we can relate to it, why not? We are open.
But of course, you are still open to
of course.
So, to sum it up, or what is the future plans to onboard more universities and expand continent? What's the content? I mean, what's the plan?
Sure. So we realize that the demand for master's programs is very high, and professional development programs is very high. People want to get the necessary certificates so they can go up the ladder. So we've done a lot of research, a lot of studies, and we are looking forward to developing more professional development courses in key areas. We've looked at documents like the AFTA program, Africa for Continental Free Trade Area, and or Agenda 2063, to develop certain courses that are in line with the African dream, so that we can help Africa to grow. So these are some of the areas that we are looking at, and most importantly, our online master's programs, as I've said.
Okay. Yeah. So how can interested students or universities or educators get involved?
Sure. So we are available on almost all social media handles: LinkedIn, X, formerly Twitter, Instagram, and we even have our websites. On the social media handles, AU eLearn Africa LMS platform. We always do call-outs over there. So once you get in there, you can send an expression of interest. We'll contact you, engage you, discuss the terms, and then we take it from there. On our website, you can go to either au.org or elearnafricalms.org, tender in your expression of interest, and we are very responsive.
Okay, I think I'm going to turn in my interest very soon, so you respond to me. So thank you so much, Mr. Kranche, for coming. It's been an amazing discussion.
Thank you for having me.
So we'll go for a quick break, and when we come back, we'll continue with lifestyle. Stay tuned.
I'm here with the Association of African Universities Television, AUTV. I just want to say that without the media, you won't know what's going on in the world. Even with the media, you sometimes don't know what's going on in the world. So you need to tune in to the reliable sources who are really on the front lines, who can give you the information you need and give you facts, not conjecture, give you real news, not fake news. And this is the place to find it, AUTV.
The voice of higher education in Africa.
Are you a university, college, high school, private organization, NGO, individual professor, instructor or facilitator seeking to take advantage of the numerous benefits of online education? Look no further. The AAU eLearn Africa LMS is a great opportunity to begin your journey to online course development and creation for teaching, learning and training purposes. AAU eLearn Africa LMS, which is a partnership between the Association of African Universities and eLearn Africa, has made available ease to use online learning tools to all stakeholders within the educational ecosystem of the African continent. This is to enhance teaching and learning in the bid to expand online learning opportunities for students in Africa. The online platform is open and available for free to all stakeholders and facilitates virtual access to classes without needing the other tools such as Zoom, Microsoft Teams, among others. For more information, visit www.elearnafricalms.com or contact us via aaulms@aau.org or estherm@elearnafrica.com. Follow us on LinkedIn, Twitter, and Facebook at AAU eLearn Africa LMS.
Hiya, this is Hello Africa. Keep watching AAU TV. Ciao.
I'm here with the Association of African Universities Television, AUTV. I just want to say that without the media, you won't know what's going on in the world. Even with the media, you sometimes don't know what's going on in the world. So you need to tune in to the reliable sources who are really on the front lines, who can give you the information you need and give you facts, not conjecture, give you real news, not fake news. And this is the place to find it, AUTV.
The voice of higher education in Africa.
Hiya, this is Hello Africa. Keep watching AAU TV. Ciao.
So still on lifestyle, we are diving into the most exciting youth event of the year, which is called the Chimpe Prekese Theatre Festival 2025. And it's under the theme, United We Stand, Together We Share, and the beauty of diversity and the power of oneness among Ghanaian young artists. So I have here with me Mr. Frenad Minta, who is the director of Chimpe Prekese Festival, Fed Create Studio, and also Mr. Emmanuel Adanse, who is the administrator of the Chimpe Prekese Festival, Fed Create Studios. You're both welcome.
Thank you.
Okay, so I'm anticipating, this whole thing. I'm seeing that it's one of the most, or it's going to be the most exciting event for the youth. But then, what inspired this whole thing, the Chimpe Prekese? Why even the name? Because I'm interested. Why Chimpe Prekese? The whole theatre festival. What is the brain behind it? What inspired you?
Okay, thank you very much.
You're welcome.
Growing up as an actor, as an art personality,
okay,
I found building masses very important.
Okay.
And as it states now, or as it stands now in the industry of art and entertainment, we always find means and ways to better it, okay, especially when it comes to film. Mm-hmm. And so that whole brouhaha of especially Ghana's state of film industry, how is it? People say it's in coma, people say it's dead, people say it's on. What can I also do as a young creative, as a young producer? What can you do? Because if it becomes better, then it betters you as well.
Exactly.
And then the initiative of, okay, why don't you start, structurizing and elevating amongst the youth who would want to take the path too.
Okay.
And so at the end of the day, it is an inclusive, event, which is more entertaining to get the attention, but more educative for them to hold on to the legacy of arts and crafts in the country to reach its most height. That is the brain behind it.
Okay.
Now the names,
Yeah.
The name itself is Prekese Theatre Festival.
Okay.
Now Prekese is a local fruit.
Yeah.
Yes, mostly in Ghana, they are
Yeah.
But then it serves medicinal purposes as well. This name there, or these fruits used in this contest, is to re-flavorize the Ghanaian arts sector.
Oh, okay.
And treat it. And so at the end of the day, we are adding an aroma to what we already do as entertainers. And then we want to treat it.
Okay.
Treat it with the aroma or the style that we are bringing.
Okay.
Chimpe, on the other hand, is an organization that is partnering with us.
Okay.
And with the purpose of sharing amongst the youth
course,
in
youth
state.
divide.
Exactly. We want to share the creativity. We want to share the expertise. So if you're an actor and you want a camera guy to help you with content creation, it's easy.
Okay.
You share those expertise.
true.
That is why we have Chimpe Precursor Theatre Festival. So we are sharing our expertise through aroma to restructure the film industry.
That's very interesting. That's so good. So let me come to you, Mr. Emmanuel. So why is this so important, or why are you targeting the high school students in this year's edition?
Okay, thank you so very much for the question. I believe my boss said a lot about the aroma, but then I believe personally that this is a new light to revolve in the whole movie industry.
Okay.
Now, we've been hearing people saying the industry is dead, it's dormant, and hold on. But I ask my question, I ask sometimes to myself that, have they tried pinpointing the whole industry to the most populated number in this country, which is the youth?
Okay.
Now, believe you me, we've all been to high school before.
That's true.
I was in Kufuor Nice Technical School. I've been in drama club before. But when you go, they all ride on the scheme of all work and no play, make Jack a dog boy. So they come, set up stage, play music, children act. When they are done, they give you certificates and they are gone. But we sitting from afar, we've been through it before, but we can't just go or proceed to as it has been done before. Well, like last year, we saw the craft that our younger sisters and brothers brought on board.
Okay.
So if somebody is in school, we all can be doctors, we all can be nurses, and he has the gift of doing SFX, doing makeup. Why don't we put these people together to produce something that at the end of the day, we can use these movies to dominate the movies in our nation? Now, people are now showing other countries trying to subsidize or subtitle their local dialect into three.
That's
So
true.
imagine at the end of every single year, a senior high school brings a movie, and this movie is played around the cinemas everywhere. What we are doing right now is, one, we are boosting the talent and the taste of film.
Yeah.
Two, we are trying to populate the cinemas. And three, at the long run, there will be revenue generated from this to boost the industry. So let's say a child wins the competition or a school wins the competition, and most of the characters are being pinpointed. If the movies are being shown in the cinemas, you come home, oh, mom, dad, I shot a movie in school, and I want to come and help me so that you take me along to the cinema. If 20 students come, they're bringing each 2 of their family members. How many are going to have in the cinemas?
That's a lot.
They are going to populate the whole place. And also make that zeal that even the next coming years, if I go and watch my fellow classmates do a movie, I'll be like, oh, this is nice. I also want to learn
Watch and
go on.
learn.
So at the end of the day, the general goal for Precursor is to dominate and change the whole narrative about the movie industry.
Okay, so what's really, I think you explain more about the name.
Yeah.
What is really the linkage between the name and then the vision of this whole event?
The name and the vision is to restructurize it. So if you look at the name itself, and you realize we are just a liaison between these young people that want to venture into the sector and then the sector itself.
Okay.
So through us, we should be able to, establish numerous figures out of these young people, establish people who are also going to influence others. So it can be a generational legacy. So that is the connection between.
So let me come to you, Mr. Emmanuel. I think I want to know, what does the role, what role does theater and then storytelling play, shaping these young people's career and, their choices and, of course, their values?
Okay, so I believe, as I said, we all can be doctors.
That's true.
And then sometimes we hear other musicians say, if I want to channel my my thoughts, my feelings, I put it through my music. I believe visuals also comes in key play here.
Okay.
So if a group of students or young people come together based on original stories, because last year our theme for the show was originality.
Okay.
And these students, you could feel they went deep down into their archives and brought out the originality that speaks about human character, human ambitions, human religion. So if this project is in play, students will not only, talk about things that are outside, but they go down into themselves. What is happening in our education system? What is happening in our country? They try to pinpoint these things, and also, most importantly, bring value to our heritage as a Ghanaian people. So the theater there is supposed to help them unearth any kind of nature that is being decided around human beings, being its religion, being its thoughts, being its morals, any significant thing that binds us as a people of a country.
Okay. Yeah. So I see that this whole event is equally trying to create an avenue for these students to meet with their role models.
Yes.
So what is the action, what's the action plan of these students, trying to meet role models in whatever sector they would want to find themselves?
Yes. So I believe that let's call a spade a spade. In this movie industry, if you don't know somebody, it's very difficult for you to go to the top.
That's true.
So maybe directors are not ready to look for to nurture talents. They just want those who are already in existence.
Exactly.
So what happens to those who wants to be there and sometimes have even the talent and the zeal to be there?
That's true.
So that is where we come in to nurture these people and also to put them out there so that it will be a kind of learning curve and also to help them have the feel and the taste for it.
Okay, so do you have these people, role models in various fields that are present?
That's last year, for instance, actress Beverly Afaglo was particular.
Yeah.
We had producers like Abu Idris on board. We had influencers like Jeffrey Notte. And these, you realize, so there's an actor, there's a producer, there is an influencer. Now, these groups, they are definitely niches in these three kinds of personalities for these young people.
Okay.
If somebody comes there and the person did not even, feature on the play, the person probably directed.
Okay.
So that focus goes to the producer present, showing off all these kinds of talents or gifts they have that day. There is somebody to help them, shape them. Now, the maximum is we as a team, we know where we want to carry it to.
Okay.
Some of them have the interest to do film, but they have not even had the feel of it before. So we as a team would even bring them together from different high schools. Those that would make it to the top in the contest. We bring them together and then we'll do production for them to get more insight into the real actual thing when it comes to the film industry.
Okay, so let's talk about some of the success stories.
Okay.
What has been the success stories? How has been the success stories so far?
The success stories have been numerous, and which some of them we didn't even expect, because ideation stages of this whole initiative was way back in 2020, 2019.
Okay.
And it was able to come to fruition last year.
Okay.
Last year was our first.
Yeah.
Interestingly, we got people that understood the vision, people who realized that, no, there's something for this initiative we would like to, help you with. So last year we got people like Flora Tissues, giving us souvenirs for the students, Snappy Snacks as well.
Okay.
We got the likes of the National Film Authority. They also understood the kind of, training we want to give to the young people. They gave us their accreditation. GES, the Ghana Education Service to at least give us the permission to go to the schools. It's not easy because we do regional tours.
Okay.
So last year we did Ashanti, Eastern, Central, Greater Accra.
Okay.
And you can imagine the movement with the team.
Yeah.
The team about
So
the 9,
schools.
you understand.
Exactly.
To be able to get them, and you don't get anybody to invite them for you. You have to go to each school. If you want to engage 20 schools, it means you visit each of
and
the
every
20 and invite them to one place for them to do their presentations.
Okay.
So the reception was good last year. That's even what prompted this year.
This year.
Yes.
Okay.
Yes. And
so
just the latest success, the partnership we had with Chimpe, they understanding the initiative and say, okay, let's share with you.
So what should a student expect this year?
So I think what they should expect is this year we are bringing a whole dimension to it. We are trying to preach oneness, as you just said earlier on, that if we should come together as creative people to put our thoughts and our inspirations into one single production, is going to make a whole impact into our film industry, and yet also revive it from its current state. So they should just come, anticipate, bring in their best around the theme, come and have fun, but put it at the back of your head that at the end of the day, you are going to be transformed. You are going to be renewed. You are going to have a certain dimension of vision when it comes to theater. So this is open to all schools. Just come, prep your school, and make sure you emerge victorious as this year's winner.
Okay. So what message would you give to students who are preparing to attend the festival?
It's that simple. We don't make things complicated. All the time, we make them comfortable, you know, in terms of their plotting, setting, and even the costuming. Sometimes it's expensive to even get it. So we make it so simple for you. The theme is simple. It says we need oneness in the creative space. Oneness in the sense that if I can do camera, I can help my friend who can speak. So we can put something together.
So when is this whole thing happening?
Like I said, the regional tour. This year we're starting with the regional tours from Volta region. Volta region is the new added region. 17th at Sugakope Senior High School.
17th of
May.
May.
Yes, 17th of May. At the Sugakope Senior High School. 31st of May at Agri Memorial in Central Region. They will move to Ashanti region 14th June. And then it comes to Easting 28th June.
So monthly.
Barely a month interval. Then the Greater Accra Belt will be on the 5th of July. And that's how it will be for the year.
So before we go, how can schools, parents, and let me say other stakeholders get involved or support this initiative?
Thank you very much. This was a very, very crucial question. It is huge. The ambition is not just about 5 regions. The ambition is to be able to go to the 16 regions in Ghana. I believe there are uniqueness amongst these young people everywhere.
That's true.
You may not know until you get to them. But the going is the matter. We need stakeholders, corporate Ghana, creative professionals, senior producers, to assist us, to help us from all walks of life. If you are outside Ghana whatsoever, we have room for you. We are welcoming you. If you go to our socials, Fed Create Studios, our details are there. We can have a conversation over it. Parents should assist or help their wards to be part of this, because like he said, not everybody wants to be a lawyer or a doctor. Some of them would want to do arts. The students themselves should just, those that are not performing, clock yourselves in the uniforms, come and give them the maximum support they need in every host school that we are. And basically.
That's quite an interesting conversation, and of course I'm glad that there are such initiatives and the understanding that not everybody can be in the offices with a tie and then the suit, and then those who have these talents are able to are given the necessary help to be able to bring out such talent. Thank you very much. We are hoping that you bring such initiatives for people like us too, not just the kids.
No problem.
Not just the younger ones. So thank you so much for coming. It's been an interesting conversation. So we'll go for a quick break, and when we come back, we would bring you the sports segment. Stay tuned.
Are you a university, college, high school, private organization, NGO, individual professor, instructor or facilitator seeking to take advantage of the numerous benefits of online education? Look no further. The AAU eLearn Africa LMS is a great opportunity to begin your journey to online course development and creation for teaching, learning and training purposes. AAU eLearn Africa LMS, which is a partnership between the Association of African Universities and eLearn Africa, has made available ease to use online learning tools to all stakeholders within the educational ecosystem of the African continent. This is to enhance teaching and learning in the bid to expand online learning opportunities for students in Africa. The online platform is open and available for free to all stakeholders and facilitates virtual access to classes without needing the other tools such as Zoom, Microsoft Teams, among others. For more information, visit www.elearnafricalms.com or contact us via aaulms@aau.org or estherm@elearnafrica.com. Follow us on LinkedIn, Twitter, and Facebook at AAU eLearn Africa LMS. Are you a university, college, high school, private organization, NGO, individual professor, instructor, or facilitator seeking to take advantage of the numerous benefits of online education? Look no further. The AAU eLearn Africa LMS is a great opportunity to begin your journey to online course development and creation for teaching, learning, and training purposes. AAU eLearn Africa LMS, which is a partnership between the Association of African Universities and eLearn Africa, has made available ease to use online learning tools to all stakeholders within the educational ecosystem of the African continent. This is to enhance teaching and learning in the bid to expand online learning opportunities for students in Africa. The online platform is open and available for free to all stakeholders and facilitates virtual access to classes without needing the other tools such as Zoom, Microsoft Teams, among others. For more information, visit www.elearnafricalms.com or contact us via aaulms@aau.org or estherm@elearnafrica.com. Follow us on LinkedIn, Twitter, and Facebook at AAU eLearn Africa LMS.
Explore a whole new world of exciting visuals with AAU TV. Get ready for a mix of interesting talk shows, interviews, discovery documentaries, and news on AAU TV. It's not just about watching TV, it's about experiencing something special. AAU TV reaches over 25 countries in Africa, bringing you a blend of knowledge and fun. Learn about different cultures as you enjoy the shows. If you have events or want to showcase your business, we've got you covered. Watch AAU TV free-to-air channel on satellite. Connect with us on Facebook, Instagram, and X, formerly known as Twitter, at AAU TV. Reach out on call or WhatsApp us at +233 26 629 6601 or +233 20 399 5210. AAU TV, the voice of higher education in Africa.
Welcome back from that break, and we are in the segment we call Game on Africa, where we bring you sports updates from around the world and some trending news in sports. So to begin with today in the trending news, two former Manchester United managers, Ole Gunnar Solskjaer and Erik ten Hag, have sharply criticized the club's decision to sell Scott McTominay to Napoli, describing it as one of the worst transfer mistakes in recent years. Solskjaer, speaking to the BBC, expressed disbelief over the sale, praising McTominay's work ethic and impact. Ten Hag echoed similar sentiments, citing financial pressures as the reason behind the forced move. The 27-year-old midfielder has been pivotal in Napoli's Serie A title charge, netting 12 goals this season. Pundits, including Graham Souness, suggest United may already be regretting the move. And in some exciting news, after 15 seasons and 694 games, Harry Kane has finally clinched his first major trophy as Bayern Munich reclaimed the Bundesliga title. The English striker's long wait ended after Bayer Leverkusen's 2-2 draw with Freiburg confirmed Bayern as champions with 2 games to spare. Kane, who joined Bayern Munich from Tottenham Hotspur in a £100 million move in 2023, has scored 36 goals this season. His triumph comes after years of near misses with Spurs, including a Champions League final and a second-place Premier League finish. Still in the Premier League, Cole Palmer returned to the score sheet in style as Chelsea secured a vital 3-1 victory over Liverpool, boosting the Champions League qualification hopes. The England international ended a 3-man goal drought by converting a penalty, capping a standout performance at Stamford Bridge. Palmer led the match in key stats including shots, chances created, and touches in the opponent's box. Speaking to Sky Sports, he admitted the dry spell pushed him to work harder, adding that he feels motivated to continue improving and contribute more to the team's success. Now on to further updates in the English Premiership. Manchester City continuing their winning streak with a narrow win over Wolves, while Aston Villa boosted their top 4 hopes by beating Fulham. Now Everton blew away a 2-0 lead to draw with relegated Ipswich, and Leicester ended their home goal drought with a crucial win over Southampton. Arsenal suffered a shock 2-1 loss to Bournemouth, while Chelsea outclassed champions Liverpool in a 3-1 defeat. Now, Manchester United struggles deepen with a 4-3 loss to Brentford, their 16th league defeat this season. Newcastle held Brighton to a 1-1 draw to stay 4th, and Spurs drew 1-1 with West Ham. Crystal Palace will face Nottingham Forest tonight. And on to La Liga. On Friday, Rayo Vallecano secured a 1-0 victory over Getafe. Saturday's matches saw Barcelona come from behind to defeat Real Valladolid in a 2-1 victory. Villarreal also triumphed 4-2 over Osasuna. Valencia edged Las Palmas 3-2, while Deportivo Alaves and Atletico Madrid played to a goalless draw. On Sunday, Real Madrid held off a late surge from Celta Vigo to win the game 3-2, maintaining pressure on league leaders Barcelona. Sevilla and Leganés shared the points in a 2-2 draw, and Real Betis secured a 2-1 victory over Espanyol. And in the Basque derby between Real Sociedad and Athletic Bilbao, it ended in a 0-0 stalemate, leaving both teams with work to do in their European qualification pursuits. Now to the Italian Serie A. The title race remains intense as Napoli held their lead with a 1-0 win over Lecce, while Inter Milan stayed close with a narrow victory over Verona. Atalanta solidified their 3rd place by thrashing Monza 4-0, and Roma extended their unbeaten run with a 1-0 win over Fiorentina. Juventus and Bologna played a 1-1 draw in a key Champions League qualification clash, while Lazio beat Empoli 1-0. The weekend was overshadowed, however, by a tragic death of an Atalanta fan in the clash with their Inter supporters. And finally, with the German Bundesliga, Bayern Munich secured the Bundesliga title after Bayer Leverkusen dropped points in a 2-2 draw with Freiburg. Bayern had earlier drawn 3-3 with Leipzig, delaying celebrations. Borussia Dortmund impressed with a 4-0 win over Wolfsburg, while Gladbach and Hoffenheim shared a thrilling 4-4 draw. Frankfurt and Mainz ended in a 1-1 draw, with 2 games left. Attention now turns to the fight for European slots. Now that leaves the teams to decide whether they want to play in the Champions League, in the Europa League, or the Europa Conference Leagues. And that's how we end Game on Africa on today's edition of Hello Africa Morning Show. Before we go, any final words, Jemima?
Oh, well, I think I don't really have much to say, really. It's just, I just followed quite some part of the interview with the cybersecurity man, and the issue of, this whole Momo saga.
I see you have a lot of concerns.
Oh no, I think you raised some concerns about the fact that sometimes you are just there and then you're using your phone. You just see a pop-up telling you to input your PIN when you haven't been anywhere.
Exactly.
To go through that whole process. And it's really, it's challenging that we have these things happening, and then people are being affected. Huge sums of money. And then looking at the process, this whole issues go through, and then before it's resolved. It's equally
it's so long.
It's so long. And I remember you telling him that, by the time everything is settled, of course, the person has
the money is already gone out of
taking
the
your money,
account.
and then everything is gone. So
that's sad. That's
very,
sad.
very, very sad.
But I hope that, like we said, once the investigations are done, there's going to be a proper solution to this. I'm more concerned about the timelines in resolving these things when they happen. It's just too long. Anyway, so this is how we end the Hello Africa show today. Make a date with us on Wednesday at 12 noon. Jemima will be with us with the AAU TV midweek news, and next week Monday we'll be back with Hello Africa. Take care and be good.